Hi, and welcome to another exciting pirate news. We definitely have a really big lineup for you tonight. And coming to you live from Massachusetts, or mostly Massachusetts, is myself, Joseph, and we have Jamie, Malt,
Ahoy.
and
Mm.
Steve.
Good evening.
How are you, gentlemen?
All right.
My mustache has an end now, distinct, whereas prior it kind of just petered off into the ether, which is nice because now I can eat soup again.
Soup is important. Keeps away
Mm.
those terrible colds. So jumping right into it, as we like to do. The most top and most interesting story is what's going on with so many in government being arrested. Malt, could you tell us a little more?
So, I mean, specifically talking about um, government officials being arrested, we have not stopped talking about January 6th since it happened. We understand that it's not a popular thing for the establishment media to keep covering. So that's why I'm taking it on me specifically to keep talking about the right wing radicalism that brought this about. We are now up to 52 police, military, or government officials arrested at January 6th. Or not arrested at, but arrested after their involvement in January 6th. This one of the shocking things to me was that of those 52, only 10 were still active duty. Um, for example, Jacob Fracker and Thomas Robertson, employed by the Rocky Mount Police Departments in Virginia, were still active duty. Um, but most of them have been retired for several years. And another thing that struck out to me is the high percentage of these people arrested from January 6th who are in fact pleading innocent, specifically claiming that they were using their First Amendment rights to protest an illegal election. Um, I really think the news media is not doing enough to counter and debunk the great lie that I honestly believe that defense has a chance of succeeding. Like, I think that there are a lot of these people who are going to walk away, and it's going to happen because the people in power aren't taking it seriously. And that terrifies me.
You know what I recently found out, which kind of terrifies me, is the fact that the Postal Service has a SWAT team. I literally just found this out tonight in the conversation we had before here. And why, like, deliver your mail?
Benjamin Gibbert's got shooters.
What? I mean, there's all sorts of crazy things about the post office. Like, are they part of the government? Are they not part of the government? And now I hear they're even spying on us.
Yeah, so
Jamie, you're talking about it.
the Postal Service has their own police department, which, if I recall correctly, includes a SWAT team. But what they've been doing is gathering up people's social media posts and using that for, I don't know. It seems strange that the post office, which just delivers mail, would be looking for social media posts. I don't know, maybe they're looking for people who are going to like shoot up post offices. I mean, I think we've kind of gone past the whole going postal, right? I mean, really, we're talking about schools, we're talking about churches. That's where the people who are going to post online tend to go. They tend not to go to the post office.
I mean, are they tracking all these people stealing packages? I mean,
I
like,
I will say that the post office is extremely forthright when it comes to dealing with mail-based harassment, threats, harassment, that kind of thing. If you ever get any of that in the mail, and you call the postmaster general's office, they will get back to you, like usually within 48 hours. Like I can't fault them for that. But yeah, keeping like I specifically think that we were talking about it, that the database is shared with the DEA specifically.
In case you're shipping packages of stuff, DEA
Drugs,
stuff,
and you're just gonna go
drugs.
and announce it. Hey, my boat, my semi-submersible that's carrying a ton of cocaine. I'm gonna tweet that out. I mean, I don't, it
Oh
doesn't
no,
make any sense.
there are people on Instagram selling drugs. Like there are people on Facebook selling shrooms. I've seen that. Like I am a member of a bunch of like mycology affiliated groups that don't deal with the fun mushrooms, but everybody and their mom comes into the group and like, hey, I got a baggie. Like, who wants to forget this weekend?
Or amongst other things that they're selling all
Uh,
over the place, of all the social medias, you know.
Yeah,
But
it's absurd that that it's so open, and that like it is honestly fairly successful from what I've seen, and I think it's largely due to just the volume of cases that happens where people are doing that they're able to like get in quick, get their money, burn the account, burn the phone, and like by the time the investigators get to it, like all of those leads are dead, is the only way I can imagine it's working.
I mean, short of them like having these massive mainframe computers, but it's why would the post office be tracking all that? It's it's almost like they need like the mechanical like some like crazy robot to come help them out, like the one that just got rid of in New York City.
Oh, yeah,
Man, I thought that transition was a legitimate question, and I had something I was going to say.
so the this is a story of the NYPD and Boston Dynamics. Boston Dynamics is for in my neck of the woods, are kind of a local company, but they make robots, and one of the robots is sort of a headless dog that walks around on four legs. I mean, technically, it seems kind of impressive that you've got a robot that can walk around like a dog.
It makes the worst sound I have ever heard in my goddamn life.
But
like, wow.
But yeah, let's. Well, this is what you might expect from a headless robotic dog. So let's just be clear: it is a headless robotic dog, and it is creepy looking.
It's bright yellow.
And it's bright yellow. So the New York Police Department leased one of these things for $94,000, and to just try it out. I don't know how much one of these robotic dogs actually costs if they were leasing it for 94 grand, and I don't know the length of the term of the lease, but apparently people thought it was too creepy, and even NYPD is giving the dog back.
Like the NYPD does not respond to protest riots, but they do apparently respond to complaints on social media about something being too creepy. Like that's
I mean, if it comes from people with enough money, I'm sure they pay more attention to it.
Depends on who's protesting or upset about it, I suppose. Which is kind of a sad truth of our world.
This might be self-incriminating, but I was legitimately looking forward to disabling one of those things in public and like forcing the lawsuit that says, fuck out of here with that shit. Like, I was like, I didn't tell my wife, probably should have, but
you have now.
Well, we would have to score that one for the competition right there.
Well, wait, so there was a way of disabling it. Does anyone want to share that method so people, if they ever come across these, know how to disable it?
I have this shit committed to memory. Like I don't remember when my child was born.
Stopgap device?
No. So you got two buttons on the back. One of them's the power button, one of them's the lockout button. Power button, it does not turn it off immediately. I think you had to hold it for like 30 seconds or something. You want to hit the lockout button because hitting the lockout button freezes it immediately, and then you reach under to grab the release for the battery pack, and you flip that out, You throw the battery pack into the ocean because that's what you do with car batteries. And then you pick up the dog robot with your gravity gun and you throw it at the Combine soldiers.
Or you just get that placed on the ground so it discharges slowly over time. Just put it on any concrete, but that would do it too.
But knock it over and rub its belly and pull the battery out, basically.
Mhm.
Do you even have to knock it over? I don't think you have to knock it over to pull up that battery.
Yeah,
Maybe
if you could get under it, sure.
You know.
But the point is, rub its belly,
How heavy?
just like any dogs.
Any idea how heavy these things are?
Several kilograms.
So
The
not
battery or the dog?
I was thinking the whole dog.
Mhm.
Like if that thing's on top of you, are you going to be happy about it?
No,
Probably.
it's several hundred pounds. I think I saw at one point it was like 500 pounds.
Yeah. So that thing on top of you, like holding you down, is like you ain't going anywhere.
But
That's
it doesn't
140
walk that
pounds.
quickly, so you can outrun it generally.
It runs at 4 miles an hour. It carries 340 pounds. It's 240. It weighs 240 pounds.
So I could lift it being a ginormous like meathead, but most people wouldn't want that anywhere near it.
Mm-mm. Like I'm throwing my back out if I have to. Like maybe I could fireman carry that thing, but like,
Yeah, no.
hi Tim.
So you get your shield and you bowl it over.
I mean, do they have any competition for Boston Dynamics? I mean, we have to stop all the. We have to.
Segway.
So the next story we have to talk about is scoring one for the competition, and I just totally butchered that. Totally
That's
butchered
okay,
that.
we forgive you.
Thank you. But I mean, so what's going on with that?
So a while ago, the game company Epic decided to open its own game store. You know, we've got Apple, we've got Steam, we've got Microsoft, we've got Google. They all have their app stores or their game stores. And Epic Games decided to open their own game store. And one of the things that they did, unlike all of the others, is they increased the amount of money that the game company gets. So instead of it being a 70-30 split where the provider of the store gets 30%, they only get 12%. And the maker of the game gets 88% of the money. And because we had that competition, it hasn't moved Apple or Steam yet, but the Microsoft store has gone and increased the amount of money, increased the percentage of the revenue that they're giving to game makers and indie games, and that's a good thing. You know, having more competition means, you know, indie games have more places to sell their games. And if they can get a bigger cut of the revenue, then that means they're more likely to stay in business and be able to create new games.
Yeah, and I mean, a 30%, shaving 30% off the top is pretty harsh. It's really freaking harsh.
Never mind the 4 or 5% that goes to the credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially when let's be honest, Steam is not exactly the easiest to navigate or the most reliable piece of software. I haven't had any experience directly with Epic, but I do know that through the Epic Games store, you can get the Itch.io app. If any of you happen to be rather longer in the tooth when it comes to gaming, you might not be familiar. Itch.io is indie focused for like very, very small games. One of my favorite is a visual novel called Bruce Lee is Your Boyfriend. It's got like it's very like a lot of them are like it's a lot of the people who are there are like on the younger side of things, queerer. A lot more games focus on like representation and that kind of thing. But it's fun. The games are cute and it's not full of trash that's going to ruin your day. So I absolutely suggest instead of going with any of these big folks, stick with indie makers like Itch.io. You are going to find the entertainment you want made by either your friends or like the people in your same peer group who could be your friends. So, yay, Itch.io. Itch.io also has an app that is available on Macintosh, Windows, Linux, specifically Ubuntu, and I forget the other one.
So how does one spell Itch.io?
itch.io.
Okay.
That's the website. Also, itch.io,
Ah.
and it's an app.
Thank you for that, Malt. And there was one more thing I really want to touch upon tonight, which I feel is important because we're really against racism. And so I just wanted to say we're in solidarity with the Stop the Hate on Asian protests. Even though none of us were able to attend the rally, still very much think it's a worthwhile cause and everything. And so you have our love and you have our support. So that being said, the only,
If I can interject,
of course,
a rally we were able to attend was last Wednesday. There was a rally for the Free the Vaccine,
yes,
which is an effort to get Moderna specifically to and generally to go and allow countries to be able to take the vaccines that have been created by U.S. pharmaceutical companies and be able to bring them out widely without having to pay the exorbitant intellectual privilege fees that they're going to levy on them. I mean, specifically, like I think it was India has 2% of its population is vaccinated, and they're at least 300,000 new cases every day, and maybe even 400,000. And the true total could be as high as potentially 3 million, I've heard, a day.
Things in India are bad.
Yeah.
Vaccine
And so,
wise.
it's also happening in the Philippines. We're seeing like, I mean, if I recall correctly, Cuba has like 5 different vaccines they've been working on. If little Cuba can do it and they're going to give them away basically at cost, why the heck aren't we? I mean, if we don't get these variants under control, then whatever vaccines we have, we're going to have to create new ones, which is probably the reason why the pharmaceutical companies are quite happy about that. But I took a lot of video of the various speakers and we'll be posting them to this channel over the next few days. So
also, coming up, we have Technine coming up on the 8th. So definitely be a part of that. And we also have the Pirate Moot, one of the big things that we're doing, coming on the 22nd. So definitely come out, show some love for that. How do people sign up for either or?
I've just put links in the discussion, and it'll also be in the description when we update that.
Perfect. Thank you so much for watching this video, and definitely give us a thumbs up and share and like and hit that notification button so every time we post new stuff, you get it.
We
Gentlemen?
also, we've got a blog where we talk about everything we do at masspirates.org. Fairly easy to remember.
Yep.
I
and if there's
read blogs.
sorry.
And we're doing a lot of work on all the other stances that we're doing. We're calling it the Pirate Planks. And we here in Massachusetts have been really putting a lot of thought, time, and effort into it. Especially you, Malt. So I want to say a special thank you to you for everything that you've done and I know, Jamie, you've been making sure that we aren't going to. We're heading towards the right area and keeping us all on a steady course. So appreciate
Progress
everything
is
that
good.
you, all of us, are doing to move forward and keep this going. So
And
For a
if
brighter
folks
tomorrow.
want us to talk about, so just interject, if folks, viewers want us to talk about particular topics, or they see news and they want to get our take on it, you can put a comment, you can send us an email at info@masspirates.org. We'll do our best to look at those articles if we haven't seen them already, and spout off about them.
we absolutely love hearing from you.
We are ready to address the controversies of the Minecraft community. We are going to hold Dream accountable for saying the N-word. We will do this. I make this a pledge to all of the 12-year-olds watching this, learning new swears from me, whose parents I should probably apologize to.
And Steve, you were saying something too?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And with that, we thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.
And we're